Hello all, very good morning. So we were discussing your community health nursing unit 1 first chapter, which is introduction to community health nursing. So we have seen the concept of health, we have seen the concept of disease, we have seen the dimensions of health, and now we'll see what are all the indicators of health. So if you see the community health team members, so here they always try to assess the health status of the community. So why you need to have these indicators of health means what are the indicators of health? These are the points which are determining the community health. So if you have fever, what is the indicator? Example I am asking you. If you have fever, what is the indicator? Body temperature will rise. Example is temperature increasing. Simply we'll call it as hypothermia. Correct or not? So this is one of the indicator of your health. So if you want to assess the community health, you should have some set of points, you should have some set of objectives. Then only you can say whenever the community health members are meeting those objectives, then you are saying the community is a healthy community. So we'll see why you need to have these indicators of health. So here if you see, why you need indicators of health means mainly to provide basic need for the community, health services. So whenever you know that particular problem is there in the particular community, then only you can go and provide health services. Correct or not? If you do not know, for example, if you take certain area and the area is having severe dengue fever cases, so you have an indicator that there is rise in mortality, and morbidity in a particular region. So you have gone there, you have seen what is the disease causing agent, and what you started giving community health service, and next to evaluate service that were rendered. So if you want to know whether the services that are given to the person are useful or not, whether they are according to the need or not, you should evaluate. So whenever you are evaluating, you need the indicators of health. Second thing. And thirdly, if you see, you should compare health status of one community with other, because indicators are markers of health status. As we have said, as I am saying, the indicators are nothing but they are the set point markers. So you, whether the health has reached to the second point or whether the health has reached to the third point, whether the illness is down or whether the illness is up, you want to know, you need to have indicator. And these indicators, so we will discuss what are these indicators, why we need indicators. If you want to assess the community health, if you want to provide the services to the community health, if you want to evaluate the services that were provided to the community health, you need indicators of health. So here if you see, health, it is a multi-dimensional and dynamic and subjective and relative aspect. So there are number of factors, there are different types of factors that were needed to measure the health of the individual. So here the variables that were used to measure the health of the individual, they are called as indicators. So what is an indicator? As I am discussing the variables, so we are using certain types of points. As I have said, morbidity, so which is saying us the number of illness, mortality, which is saying us the number of deaths or disability person. So this is what, these are the some set of variables. So here they are called indicators because they indicate or give clue regarding the health status. Correct or not? So most of these indicators are negative indicators. So in term of lack of health, illness, so if the person is having illness, we will see morbidity. So if the person is having some kind of disease, or if the person is diseased, we will say mortality. What is the crude birth rate, what is the death rate, you will check or not. So that is the indicator. So what are the indicators? They should be valid, they should be reliable, they should be sensitive, and they should be feasible, and they should be specific in nature. So valid means the measurement that you are giving, it should be in a valid manner, and it should be reliable means they are consistent. So whenever you are checking, you should not give, when you check one time, you should not give one type of value, and whenever you are checking the other time, you should not give other type of value. So it should give same results when used by different types of persons in similar situations. So if I'm using the tool, for example, if I'm using a tool and calculating some mathematics here, the result, it should be reliable, means it should be consistent. If other person is coming and checking using the same formula, it should be the same result that I am getting. So this is the reliability. It should not change. It should give same results with different persons in similar situations. You understood? It should give same result whenever different persons are using it, and the situation it is similar only, but different types of persons are using, because of the formula that they are using, it should use the same result, and it should be sensitive, means it should reflect even small changes are there. It should reflect in the health status, and it should be feasible, means it should be flexible, and it should be specific in nature. So here there are hardly any indicator which will comply. So here if you see the indicators, we have mortality indicators, we have morbidity indicators, we have disability rates, we have nutritional status indicator, we have life expectancy at birth, we have social and mental indicator, we have utilization rates, and we have environmental indicators. These environmental indicators are nothing but healthcare delivery indicators and health policy indicators. Now we understood what is an indicator, what is mortality, what is morbidity, what is disability. Mortality indicator means the death rate of a person. Morbidity means what is the disease rate. Disability means the person is disabled from doing his own activities. So this is the one of the disability. Nutritional status means whether they are perfectly nourished or malnourished. Life expectancy at birth, how many children are living, whenever they are getting birth. So these are all some of the indicators. Now we'll see what is the importance of a health indicator. So what is the importance? So here it is indicating, it is giving us the markers regarding the health status of the persons, and it is also used to measure the changes and provide factual information about health services and performance. So what it is doing here, mainly it is used to measure the changes and what type of services that need to be provided to the community, and what type of services performance should be changed, what is the performance rate that we are providing, about the services that are being provided to the community. So all these things will be known whenever you are using the health indicators. So to know the progress towards fulfilling and established goals and targets, and also we can prepare the health index using the health indicator. So what is the health indicator? Mainly you want to know, so you have set some goals that that polio cases should be eradicated, or this COVID-19 cases should be decreased. So how you will know? The indicator is like the disease rate that is there in the community. So what type of services you are trying to provide? You are trying to provide vaccination for the community, correct or not? So whenever you are trying to provide vaccination for your community, you want to know what is the disease rate even after providing the vaccination. For example, if you take polio, so if the polio cases are occurring, the health indicator is showing us that disease rate of polio in an increased manner. The measures that we have taken to prevent this polio virus, it is fulfilled? No, it is not fulfilled. When you know that the services that are provided to the community are fulfilled, when the polio cases had been eradicated completely, then you understood the services that are the services or the goals that are established, the target that is kept in front of the community to eradicate the polio has been achieved by seeing the health indicator, because in a health indicator the disease rate of polio is 0. So that's what the importance of health indicator is, mainly to know the progress of the disease, to know the progress of the health services that is being performed, and to have an accurate data, what type of changes that are need to be done in the health services, what are the new involvement, what is the new involvement that has to be kept, what are the new goals, what are the target, with the health indicator only. So now we'll see how the morbidity rate in the community is assessed. So how you will assess the disease rate in the community? So we'll check what is the outpatient rate, means the number of persons visiting to hospital. So based on that, what is the disease rate in the community. If the total number of persons in the community are coming and visiting the outpatient department, means the hospital outpatient department, then so these many people in the community are being illness, means this is the morbidity rate. And nextly, rate of notifying the disease, identification of disease when the person is visiting the outpatient department and rate at which the disease is occurring. For example, if from a local area, if a group of people with same type of disease, with same type of signs and symptoms, they are coming and getting treatment in the hospital, then you know at what rate. So for a day, if you identify 30 cases and the next day again the 30 cases or 35 cases are coming, and the other day only 25 cases are some, if you take the average cases per day is like 30 cases. So here the disease rate is like 30%. So like that you can calculate the morbidity rate. So this is one of the indicator. And nextly, what is the admission? So how many people are getting admitted in the hospital? What is the discharge? How many people are being discharged from the hospital? And nextly, what is the readmission rate? Even though the patient got admitted, the patient got treated, and again if he is coming back to hospital with same problem, so that is also one of the rate. And nextly, absence from the school and office. For example, if you take the COVID-19, so we have seen till now nearly 1 crore people of the country are affected with this COVID-19, and nearly 80 to 70 lakhs of the people have been clearly, means they have cleared the disease and they have come outside, means they were discharged from the hospital admission. So based on that you can write what is the morbidity rate, correct or not? So how many people have deceased, how many people are there in the community with the particular disease, you know the morbidity rate here. So this is what the morbidity rate can be assessed. So this is one of the health indicators. So whenever the morbidity rate is increasing, you understand one of the health indicator, it is the morbidity rates, means the community is in a not healthy manner. So you need to implement some type of procedures, you need to implement some type of health services, correct or not? So this is what the morbidity rate. And nextly, to ascertain health, various health indicators are necessary. So as we are discussing, what are the health indicators? We have mortality indicator, morbidity, disability, life expectancy, nutritional indicators, social and mental indicators, utilization, and other indicators. So we have seen what is mortality. It is mainly giving us what is the disease, we have seen the morbidity indicator. So it is mainly giving us what is the disease rate in the community. Now we'll see what are all the mortality indicators. Mortality means nothing but the death rate. So here there are different types of varieties of mortality indicators. So we have indicators that are including the crude death rate, so it is also called as CDR. We have infant mortality rate. What is infant mortality rate? So the infant mortality rate, first of all you should know what is an infant. So when the baby is born, first 28 days they are calling it as a newborn. So you can see in the picture here. So from after 28 days, so from the first month to the 1 year they are calling it as an infant, and 1 year to 3 year they are calling it as toddler, and 3 to 5 year they will call it as a preschool. So you can take the picture here and you can write down in the notes. Just I want you to know what is an infant. So the baby after 28 days after birth, from 28 days after birth to 1 year, he is called as infant mortality rate. So the babies who are dying after 28 days of birth to the 1 year, so this is called as infant mortality rate. And nextly, maternal mortality rate means the mothers who are dying during the pregnancy or after the pregnancy. So this is called as maternal mortality rate. And child mortality rate. So what is the child mortality rate? The children who are dying, this is called as child mortality rate, means nearly 1 to 3 year children. And nextly, under 5 mortality rate. So how many number of children are dying per an year in an under 5 mortality rate we are checking. And also we are checking the disease specific mortality. So because of specific disease, because of tuberculosis, how many people are dying? Because of AIDS, how many people have died? Because of congenital anomalies, how many have died? So you will check everything in the mortality indicator. So increase or decrease in these rates, mainly they will determine the health situation of community at a given point of time. So here the health indicator, it will change day by day, because the health of the person cannot remain same all the times, correct or not? So does your health remain same at all the time? No, it cannot remain same. So today you might be well, perfectly all right, tomorrow you might get some type of disease or some type of fever, correct or not? So this is what the indicators will change. So at a given point of time, according to the data that is available for that given period of time, we are mainly assessing the health situation. So this is called indicator, nothing but health indicator. So firstly we have seen morbidity indicator, now we have seen mortality indicator. In mortality indicator we'll see what is the crude death rate. So how to calculate this crude death rate? So here if you want to calculate this crude death rate, so here the crude death rate equal to number of deaths during a given year, number of deaths during a given year divided by mid-year population of the same year into 1000. So if you use this formula, you will get the crude death rate. So here the number of deaths that are occurring per 1000 population in a given community. So it is mainly influenced by age, sex and composition of population. So wait, what it is indicating? It is indicating that the rate at which people are dying. So how many people are dying per day? How many people are dying per an year? You will get the accurate data whenever you are measuring the crude death rate. So if the death rate is high, it is indicating that the health of the community is poor. So you are not maintaining proper health services, you are not giving proper health services. That's what it is indicating. The community health is as poor whenever the death rate is very high. So how to calculate the crude death rate? So number of deaths that were occurring in a given year, during a given year, divided by mid-year population of the same year. So number of people living in the particular area at the same year into 1000. If you do, you will get the crude death rate. Nextly we'll see what is the expectation of life. So here the expectation of life, it is widely used indicator mainly to show us the life expectancy. So the life expectancy at the birth, so it is the best single indicator mainly to show the health status of the people. So if the low expectation of life is indicating, it is showing us the low level of health, and if the high level of life expectancy is showing, it is indicating us the high level of health. And nextly life expectancy statistics will give differences in health levels between the developed and undeveloped countries. So if you see the life expectancy in India, it is very low, nearly like 65 to 70. If you go to the other countries like Japan, there the life expectancy is above 70 or sometimes even 80 also. So this is what life expectancy. So it is always influenced by the developed and undeveloped factors. If it is a developed country, the living standards are high, the medications are good, and the way they eat, the way they maintain their environment is appropriate, so their life can be improved, the life can be go further. But in undeveloped countries, or underdeveloping countries, the health status will be little low because their living standards are decreased. Coming to the infant mortality rate. So here, if you want to know the number of infant deaths that are occurring per 1000 population in 1 year, so you will go for this IMR. So number of deaths under 1 year of age in a given year. So the children who are dying below 1 year of age divided by how many number of births that had occur in the same year into 1000. If you do, you will get the infant mortality rate. So if the infant mortality rate is high, so the people health status is considered as very low. So you can see the health of the people is poor and external environment is insanitary, and it is the most universally accepted indicators of health status. So if you see the global strategy of health for all suggested the infant mortality rate by 2000, it should be like 60. In India, if you see, there were 67 deaths that are occurring for 1000 live births. So this is the infant mortality rate that is there in India. And coming to the child mortality rate. So if you see the child mortality rate, so here the number of deaths that are occurring at the age group of 1 to 4 year children we are checking. So here what we are doing, the number of deaths that were occurred at the age group of 1 to 4 year in a given year divided by total number of children who were at the age group of 1 to 4 year at the midpoint in the same year into 1000 population. If you do, you will get the child mortality rate. And if you want to have under 5 mortality rate, number of deaths that were occurring in under 5 age group divided by total number of children who are at the age group of 5 years of age into 1000. If you do, you will get under 5 mortality rate. And maternal mortality rate, so here total number of women who were died due to the complications of pregnancy. So if the childbirth is occurred and within 42 days of delivery, if the mother is dying, then also you will consider it as a maternal mortality death. So here it is, you can see the formula, total number of women death that is occurring due to the complications of pregnancy, that is childbirth or within 42 days of delivery in a given area during a given year, divided by total number of live births that were occurred in the same area in an year into 1000. If you do, you will get maternal mortality rate, MMR. And actually we'll see what is the disease specific rate. So here you want to know what is the cancer patient ratio who are dying, what is the cardiovascular disease patient ratio, what is causing, what are the accident ratio, what is diabetes ratio, then you will go for disease specific mortality rate. So here we have proportional mortality rate. So here in this proportional mortality rate, communicable disease is defined as the number of deaths that are occurring from the communicable diseases as a percentage of total deaths. So if you see what is the cancer mortality rate, for example, number of deaths that were occurred from the cancer during the year divided by total number of deaths that were occurred due to all causes of the diseases. So you will get the specific cancer rate here. Now we'll see what is the morbidity indicators. So in morbidity indicators means they are indicating what is the prevalence of a disease, either it is communicable disease or non-communicable disease in the community. Communicable diseases means the disease which is capable of spreading from one person to another person. Example, this COVID-19. So these respiratory tract infections, all of these are always a communicable diseases. Coming to the non-communicable diseases, the disease will stay with the person. It cannot spread from one person to another person. So we'll see what is communicable and we'll see what is not communicable. So if you see, they are mainly giving us the information about the proportion of people mainly who are suffering from various types of diseases in the community. So if you see the morbidity indicators, these morbidity indicators are giving us information about the proportion of the people. What is the proportion of people means how many number of people are having particular disease, how many number of people are having cardiovascular diseases, how many number of people are having these communicable diseases. So you will get through these morbidity indicators, and we will also see what are the possible causes of mortality in the community. And these morbidity indicators, they do not give complete picture of morbidity status of the community, because nobody in the community, for example, if you take this COVID-19 itself, nobody in the community wants to come and say that we got affected with this COVID-19, because there is some type of discrimination that is going on in the community. So here, when the person is not willing to come outside and show to us, how can we know that the person is having a particular disease? So it is not giving us particular complete picture. And there are many hidden cases and subclinical cases and chronic carriers. So if you see, there are asymptomatic patients who are there in the community. They do not exhibit any types of signs and symptoms. They also don't know that they are being a carrier. So these are the things which were affecting the morbidity indicator. So they are not showing the health status of the population. That's what here the morbidity indicator, it cannot show the complete picture, but it will give us what is the accurate disease rate that is going in the community. Now we'll see what is the disability indicator. So if you see the disability indicator, it includes the incidence and prevalence of cases who are not able to perform their full range of activities. So it is mainly because of some inherited or acquired problem. So here because of sickness, or because of absenteeism, or because of rate at work and schools, or because of the prevalence of blindness or deafness and dumbness. So all these things means here disability means the person is unable to do some kind of work. So if the person is sick, he cannot do his work. If the person is absent because of his sickness, he cannot do his work. If the rates at work and schools are decreasing because of blindness, so if the person is blind physically, this is one of the disability. So we cannot work as a normal person. If I am not having these pets, I cannot work properly, correct or not? I cannot teach you if I am not having these pets. So this is one of the disability for me. If the person is having deafness or dumbness, and we'll see what is the prevalence of paralytic poliomyelitis. So if any person is having this poliomyelitis, it is mainly affecting the spinal cord. If it is causing the paralysis, so there will be limited in the mobility, limited activities, limited mental and social handicaps, etc. So these are all some of the disability indicators. So how many people are having sickness, how many people are being absent, how many people are deaf, how many people are dumb, how many people are having paralysis, how many people are blind, so how many people are handicapped. So these all things are the disability indicators. So it has been measured by number number of days he or she is bedridden or restricted of the movement. So this is the disability indicator. Means the person, whenever he is having some kind of disease, he is being bed rested. So what is doing? He is unable, he is disabled from doing his work. So how many people are there? That's we are saying it as disability indicator. Hope you are understanding. And next we'll see what is the life expectancy at birth. So this is nothing but it is positive indicator of health. What is the life expectancy of at birth? So it increases or decreases the expectation of life at birth. It interferes either with the improvement or deterioration of health status of the people respectively. So here this indicator, it is getting influenced by high infant and child mortality rates. So it is one of the universally accepted indicator. So what is the life expectancy at birth? So if the health status of the people, if the health status of the community and environmental status of the community is higher in stage, then automatically the life expectancy at birth also will be at higher stage. Nutritional indicator. So this is also one of the positive health indicator, whether the person is malnourished or properly nourished, whether his physical mobility, whether his physical ability is according to his age or not. So what we will do, we will include the measurements, that is anthropometric measurement, nothing but height, weight and mid-arm circumference. So this is the anthropometric measurement. Mainly we are doing it under 5 children. So we are measuring the height and weight of the school children. And also we are checking the prevalence low birth weight, that is if the baby is less than 2.5 kg. So we are checking the nutritional indicator. Nextly we have social and mental indicators. So here it is including how the person, whether they are having any kind of alcohol or drug addiction, child abuse, neglecting child, women abuse, what is the child delinquency, what is the suicide rate, what is the homicide rate, and what is the road traffic accident rate. So all these are the problems that were measured by using social and mental health indicators. So these are increased by industrialization as well as urban slums. So because of this industrialization and because of this urban slums, we are having this social and mental problems. So socially, if a person is an alcoholic and if he is becoming a drug addict, is he useful for the society? No. If the children are being abused, if the children are being neglected without proper education, without proper clothing, without proper health, so their automatically entire country will be affected. Women abuse, child delinquency, suicides, means it is increasing the death rate, homicide, road traffic accidents, because of the lack of education, because of lack of mental stability, social responsibility. So we are facing all these problems. So this is one of the health indicators, social and mental health indicator. And coming to the utilization rate. So here in utilization rate, mainly they will see the level of services that were utilized by the community person. So here utilization level of health services can be assessed on the basis of rate of pregnant women. So ratio of vaccinated children, using contraceptive measures, hospital occupancy and discharge ratio. How many people, number of births were occurring, how many people are getting hospitalized, how many people are having institutional deliveries, and how many people are having home deliveries. Institutional deliveries means the deliveries that were conducted in the hospital setting. What is the vaccination rate? So all these things will come under this utilization rate. And lastly, the other indicators, they are including the healthcare delivery system, how the people are using the healthcare services, how the health policy are mainly given to the community, what is the socio-economic indicator, health policy indicator, environmental indicator, and quality of life indicator. So these indicators will throw light on the underlying factors. So with the help of these indicators, mainly we are focusing on these particular things. So whenever you focus the health policy indicators or socio-economic indicators, environmental indicators, and other types of indicators that we have discussed, mortality, morbidity, utilization, all these things, so you can have an understanding ability. So because of these factors only, mortality is increasing, morbidity is increasing, disability in the community is increasing. So what you will do, you will formulate the set of new principles, new services, and you will give to the society. So it is evident from the presentation that each indicator, it will throw light on certain aspect of health. So it is mainly giving us comprehensive or holistic view of health status of the community, and it is very desirable to make use of number of these indicators. So these are the indicators. Hope you understood. So why we are using the indicators? Mainly to know the health status of the community. If you want to know the health status of the community, you should know what are the indicators. So here, what are the indicators? We have mortality, morbidity, disability, nutritional, life expectancy, social and mental, utilization and environmental indicators. So with this I would like to end the session here. Hope you understood. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe, and if you have any types of queries, please drop them in the comment box, and for your queries you can also contact me in the WhatsApp. I'll be explaining you if you have any doubt, and if you have any suggestions, if I'm going fast or if I'm going too slow, or if the slides are not clear, please let me know. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.